I think the census is a cornerstone of democracy because it's the starting point for what is representational democracy. The genius of the Constitution was to say that we should allocate power proportionate to population size on no other basis. The more people there were, the more political power should be assigned to that part of the country. Yeah, in the founding period, led really by Thomas Jefferson, who in some respects is the first director of the Census Bureau, he was Secretary of State, and James Madison, they worked out the fundamentals in a very, very intelligent way. And it was the first periodic census in any of the new modern nation states. And it grew in importance over the first part of the 19th century. And by the time we get to the Civil War, the census is playing an enormously important role in the public policy process. Lincoln actually needed the data for wartime planning, as we today use the census for planning of our economy and of our military capacity and of our social service needs and so forth. The census form comes out of a long, complicated process of congressional hearings, of calling in outside experts to figure out what is it the country needs to know. What sort of policies and programs will we need information for? In fact, every question plays some key role in a public program or a regulatory activity. The American people have to remember that these are statistics. It's not information about an individual. We collect the information from individuals, but then it's formed into statistics that give us a portrait of the country. The American people in the 2010 census will see a very small census questionnaire. Only 10 questions, takes less than 10 minutes to fill it out. The questions themselves are so basic that they're almost taken for granted. We ask age, we ask residence, we ask how many people live in the household, gender, very few extra questions on that short form. So it takes place in two stages. First, it's mailed out, mail it back. If 100% of the households mailed that back in, we would be finished, and the country would save an enormous amount of money. But about 25 or 30% do not mail it back in, and that's why we have to send people to enumerate household by household. So there's really nothing to be worried about. Finally, the Census Bureau takes confidentiality very seriously. We have firewalls that it's very hard to hack through. Everyone is a sworn agent. If anyone violates their principles of confidentiality, they're fined with respect to census data. That includes the director and everyone else who works in the Census Bureau. The census is a moment in American political life when the entire population simultaneously does something to show their loyalty, their responsibility, their obligation to the workings of our democracy. So if the American people would understand it as a civic ceremony that involves us all, then I think they would be happily willing to cooperate with the census.